I'm about to have a real conversation with y'all, and I hope y'all don't mind me having this conversation with y'all before I go in my building. So, I'm always paying a Tony Robbins. I'm always paying a Grant Cardone. I'm always paying an Alex Hormozy. I'm always paying them like, 50 to 100 grand. So watch what I'm about to say here. And I'm not gonna lie, I learned so much from them. Some people gonna agree, some people not gonna agree. Like, I don't feel like, and it's just my own opinion. I'm not hating on nobody. I'm not doing nothing to nobody. None of that. It's my own opinion. We have black people in America that has made 100 million or more in business, but none of them don't teach us business, and that's cool. Nobody has to teach it. They don't have to. I told my mentor, my goal is 100 million. He said, why? I said, because we need somebody in our culture that's making 100 million, that have made 100 million in the business, that's teaching business. And he was like, explain that to me, because he white. He said, explain that to me. I said, I paid you $60,000 twice. Plus I paid you another $30,000 for the mentorship, the one-on-one coaching. So I paid you $100,000, I paid you $90,000, and I paid you $60,000. I've been rocking with him for 2 years now. I'm like, man, I learned so much from you, right? I'm like, there's nobody in my community that do it. I was like, we got the Magics, we got the Tyler Perrys, we got the Kevin Harts, we got the Jay-Z's, we got so many dope black people that made Robert Smiths, we got so many black people that made a lot of money, and I'm not mad at them, they just don't have the time to do it, right? I said, so we need somebody in our culture, because even when I come in these rooms, I'm like, bro, like I'm less than the 1%. I'm like, bro, you got 500 people in this room, and there's only like 5 black people. Right? It's only like, bro, there's only like 5 black people here. I'm like, that ain't on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when I go spend a bag with Grant, I'm like, bro, it be more Mexicans and white folks and Asians. I still be less than the 1%. When I go to Tony, when you get in his inner circle, I'm like, bro, same thing. Like, no matter where you go at, bro, no matter where you go at when it comes to the entrepreneurship world, bro, we always the minority. You know what I'm saying? We always the minority when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, so that's what it is. He's like, well, why 100 million? I say, because that's the number our people respect. I say, that's the number that puts you, and I say, I don't want to just teach them how to sell a course or none of that shit. I want to teach them how to build real businesses. And I said, that's what I'm doing here. I'm like, what I'm learning, what I'm going through with building a freedom now is me building a real business. You know what I'm saying? It's a building that we have multiple verticals inside of it, a real business. He was like, oh, that's interesting. He's like, I see what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, even with, when I get the next building, that, it's a real, I got commercial real estate that I'm doing business in, whether it's events, whether it's it's the framework that's, the HR, the teams, the meetings, the infrastructure, the intellectual property, the mapping it out, all the things. He was like, oh, he said, I see what you're saying. He said, I see what you're saying. I said, yeah, bro, it ain't a racial thing or nothing like that. I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, he laughed at me. I said, bro, I'm tired of paying y'all. He was like, what? I say, not in a bad way. I'm like, I saw him, he laughed at me when I said this. I say, bro, I would pay you, but if they had somebody in my culture that's making 100 million or more, I would go pay them too. I would pay both of y'all. He said, that's good that you don't mind paying for education. I say, bro, I'd rather pay y'all than to pay college, because the person who teaching it in college, they ain't got no real business. Y'all got real businesses that made 8, 9, 10 figures. I'm coming from that. I want to do that. And so he was like, man, I see it. I'm like, that's why I really want to make 100 million. Like, I only want to make 100 million so I can tell my people I made 100 million. And this is why I'm teaching you business, because we made 100 million. We getting the business evaluated right now. So we can say, okay, my business getting evaluated right now, so we can say what my business worth, so I can know what it takes now, so we can reverse engineer on what it takes for us to get to 100 million. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of like that's, you know what I'm saying? That's the only reason. I'm like, I don't want to do it for no other reason. It ain't about, of course it's a big goal, but I just want to get 100 million so I can be like, yo, my business generated 100 million in revenue. Let me teach you entrepreneurship from the bottom to the top, not just about how to sell a course, how to build a real business, how to build a real brand, how to build a real community, how to build verticals inside your business, how to hire, how to fire, how to do all, like, we don't know how to do none of that. You bring somebody in right now and say, yo, how do you build a team? Man, I don't know. Well, I'm building a team. I'm making mistakes. I'm like, yo, that's what I want to teach people. He was like, okay. He's like, I see it. Like I said, because here's the thing, bro. I told my mentor, I said, you know why you successful? You know why you can build multiple businesses? Because once you build one that was successful and then you duplicated it twice, now you got the blueprint on how to build a business. John O'Brien is the truth. He focused. That's my OG. He always tell me use my name like a credit card, but he really be focused on entrepreneur. He be focused but Operation Hope is so big he don't got time to host classes about entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, John O'Brien is the truth for sure. For sure. And so that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, like, and I like teaching shit. So I be documenting everything we doing. I'm documenting everything we doing with this damn building. The wins, the losses, everything. You know what I'm saying? Because this thing is important. And so that's one of the things I want to do. Like in the next couple of years, man, I want to really start teaching people like real entrepreneurship. So you can say, damn, I saw Trap build that shit from the top up. You know what I'm saying? Not just how to sell online, but it's how to be an entrepreneur. How to, like, cause if you go to my mentor, he got real estate, he got people, you go to Grant, they got people doing all kinds of stuff. You go to Tony Robbins, they got people doing all kinds of stuff. It's just cause they understand they understand business. And you can read a lot in books, but it's also about you getting in there, getting it done. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. Do I have a time frame? Once I get everything in place with the building how I want, as far as my team the way I want, we have the layout the way we want, then I'm gonna put a time frame on it. And then one of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reverse engineer it. Watch what I'm about to tell you. Here's the most important part. Watch this. I'm about to tell you something. I'm gonna leave on this. This is why hiring is so good. Once I get the building, like once we get some of the stuff right the way I want, I can then say, get my team together, my executive team, and say, hey y'all, the goal is 100 million. Here's the business model I got in mind. Let's reverse engineer it. It's not who I gotta become. It's who the business has to come to generate that. And we reverse engineer. What do we need to do to get this thing to 100 million? And now you put the pressure on everybody else because this is the goal. If you ain't working toward this, you gotta go. So that's why I hired a CFO. That's why I hired a controller. That's why I hired a CFO. We bringing in a controller. We got a chief of staff. We got a strategic planner. We got a director of operations, and I'm gonna bring in a chief revenue officer, and I'm gonna bring a CMO. Yo, here's the goal. 100 million is the goal. What does it take to get there? Here's what we have in the line. Let's reverse engineer how we get there. What's the verticals we need? How many people we got to impact? What it looks like? What's the price points? How many people we need to do this? What do we have to do every month? We got to do every other month. What are some of the things we got to do? What are some of the free things we got to do? How do we got to give back from a tax perspective? You get everybody, bring them to the table. This is the goal. Not everybody, but you get the heads. You need these people. You need a CFO. You need a chief. You need a CFO. You need a controller. You need a strategic planner. You bring the chief of staff in because they're going to have to bring that down. You need a director of operations. You need a chief revenue officer. You need a CMO. You bring them in. Here's the goal, everybody. The goal is 100 million. That's the end goal. Here's what we have in place right now. Here's the things that we do. Here's the things that we want to do with the business. Reverse engineer it. How do we get to 100 million? It ain't on me no more. You put the brand, you put the business in front of the people. How do we get to 100 million in 5 years? Here we go. And that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You don't try to do it on yourself. You bring it to the people. You bring it to the people that you hire, that you paying $100 million, $100,000 or more to. Get me to 100. Get this brand to $100 million in 5 years. That's $20 million a year for the next 5. 25 million a year in 4 years, or $20 million in the next 5 years. Get us there. If you can't get us there, you don't belong there. That's how we get there. So you reverse engineer. So I want you to start thinking about that in your business. Whatever you're doing, I want you to set the goal in front of you and then say, who do I have to hire to get me there? Right? Here's where I want to go at. What do I have now in place already? Who do I have to hire to get me there? And whoever can't help me get there, they're in the way, because I need the people that can help me get there. Let me tell you something else you got to get cool with. You ain't gonna like this. All right, this is why I can't wait to do this with the entrepreneur thing. You got to get okay with firing people, but you got to do it from a good place. You got to get okay with firing people, but you got to do it from a good place. And that's going to hurt a lot of people. That's going to hurt a lot of people. You hear me? What's happening, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? I ain't mean to pull up on you like that.
What's good, boss?
Hey, no, man, I had seen you on the internet, man.
Yes, sir.
But now, yeah, I live out here, man.
Sir.
I had looked at the sign, man. I'm definitely have to get with you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, I teach school, man. I'm about to retire too, man, about 4 months. I got to
That is.
you, man.
There you go. All good, boss.
Yeah. So what I need to do, man, like...
Online, WallstreetTrapper. We ain't got nothing in the building right now. Yeah?
Okay, then. Nah, I had seen you, man, because I had a house over here I sold. I live over here, and I looked, I said, so I had to come pull up on you. Yeah,
I appreciate you, boss. Thank you, man.
Go online, they call me Coach, man.
There you go. Appreciate you, dog.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna sign up with you, man, and see where I can go from there.
Let's go, man. I help you be on that journey with you, dog.
Yeah, man, because I'm gonna retire like in do like 4 more years, man. So I'm just trying to push it, you know.
Man, you right there, man. Ain't that 4 years go by before you knew it, bro?
Yeah, man. You from New Orleans, huh?
Born and raised, dog.
Yeah, I'm from Mobile, man.
That's right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Oh, yeah, man.
We're gonna try. Y'all finna go see my son. He play for West Virginia.
Man, stay blessed, brother.
Yeah.
Stay blessed. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm about to say something that y'all ain't gonna like. Watch this, y'all. You gotta be willing to watch this. You gotta. So I'm not the person that believe that you can't work with family. I don't agree with that. I got my cousin, 2 of my cousins working with me, and I don't have a problem with them, right? But you got to be willing to let go of somebody that isn't helping you in the business. You feel me? And you got to be willing to do it from a gracious place. That's what's going to hurt a lot of people. You got to be willing to do it from a place of grace. Like, hey, listen, I appreciate your hard work. I appreciate your dedication right now. You know, you just ain't serving. There's not a, we don't really have a place for you right now, whatever. So that's one of the things. And so as a CEO, as a visionary, as a founder, like, I don't call myself a CEO. I always tell my people, like, I'm a visionary. I'm a founder. Because my mentor told me something a while that really punched me in the face. He said, if you ain't made 100 million, you ain't no damn CEO. If you ain't paying at least $1 million for your C-suite team a year, you ain't no CEO. You're a visionary or you're a founder. Because a CEO got $1 million or more exec team.